What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Rank Everything, the show where we rank everything. I'm your host, Ryan, and today, suggested by Epic Dragonfire 1, we're going to be ranking how well each of the Terraria NPCs give sloppy. Thank you, I guess. Make sure my mic's plugged in all the way. Don't want that problem. Okay, but our tiers for today are at the bottom. We have refuses. These are characters that refuse to give the sloppy. From there we have will do it, but is not very good at it. So these are obviously characters who, if you asked them, they would agree, but it probably wouldn't be very enjoyable for you. Then we have experienced. Characters who are experienced at it. Then we have asks you if they can. These are characters who are freaks, apparently, because they're asking you if they can give you sloppy. And then finally at the top we have Suckmaster 6000. They does not get better than that. Okay. So, as with the last Terraria video, I'm not an expert in Terraria, not by any means. I do not know the majority of these NPCs, which is why I will be using the wiki to help me out today. But let's see. Our first one today is the angler, so the fisherman person. So the first thing I'm going to think about when it comes to any of these characters is, like, you know, is it like a hardworking person who, you know, has enough self-respect to not just do that? Because the idea that I have is that I walk up to this person and I ask if they would do that for me, and if I think that they say yes, then we go from there. If I think that they say no, well, then obviously I've got to put in refusing. So I think if I walked up to the angler and or if I walked up to the angler and I was like, hey, can I get some? I think the angler would say no. All right, from there we have the arms dealer. So the arms dealer, I mean, okay, so anybody who's going to be selling weapons, anybody who's selling weapons is probably gonna be a bit freaky at the end of the day. And so I don't know if the arms dealer is gay, or if the arms dealer just swings both ways, or if the arms dealer is just a freak all around. I'm gonna say that the arms dealer is actually going to refuse. Okay. Let's see. From there we've got the clothier. So the thing about the clothier is that we could possibly assume that maybe he is a little bit gay, because, you know, like I said, I guess, I don't know exactly. I'm not trying to make any assumptions. This is just a generalized statement, but it typically seems that whenever men go into anything to do with clothes or hair or makeup, it's usually because they're, we're going to say that they're in touch with their feminine side. Gay. He's gay. So is the clothier gay? I mean, I don't know, but he's on the older side. Very stylish hat. Very nice scarf. I'm going to say the clothier is experienced. He's experienced. Okay, then we have the cyborg. So the cyborg sells a robot shit. Only appears in hard mode. And, sells like robot shit, rocket launcher stuff. So the reason why I would say, so I'm going to put him in refuses because of the fact that I don't think that the cyborg has a mouth based on this sprite that I'm looking at. So I don't think so. Up next, I'm pretty sure this is the demolitionist, I think. And demolitionist is, too blue collar, I think, to be willing to do something like that. The Dryad. So the Dryad is like, I'm not trying to make generalized statements about people who are, you know, hippies or people who are really, like, in love with nature, but, you know, I'm pretty sure that they're, like, usually they're pretty out there. Like, they're freaky, you know, and they believe in some sort of stuff like that. So I have the strangest feeling that the Dryad, I bet the Dryad is going to be like an ask you if they can kind of situation. Okay, so up next we have the dye trader. So this guy's really cool. I think this guy, I think he's got enough self-respect, or I think he's like self-respecting enough that he just wouldn't do that if I asked. But like, got a really cool hat, very stylish clothes on. He's obviously not from. He's obviously not. He's like from like the the East, the desert, that kind of thing. I don't know anything about that kind of culture. We're not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say that he refuses. Let's see. Next we have the Goblin Tinkerer. So the Goblin also sells mechanical robots, stuff, that kind of thing. And so, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Goblins are, I don't know. I don't know anything about, like, goblins are like, I mean, whatever. I'm gonna say if I walked up to the Goblin Tinkerer and I was like, "Hey, do you mind sucking?" I think he would say no. The Golfer. Let's see. So the way that you find the Golfer, you find him in the underground desert playing golf by himself. So this guy was down in an underground desert by himself playing with some balls. Now, I'm not saying that he's gay because of that, but I'm going to say that he would do it, but he's not very good at it. All right. Now, here he is, the guide. So the guide is, well, basically, he's like I'm not even sure if it's possible to start any world in Terraria without encountering the guide. Like, I'm pretty sure he's always there the second you load in for the first time. So the guide, I mean, he's just this cool dude who helps you out and all the other sort of stuff. So I feel like, based on what we know about the guide, I gotta say, I bet this dude is Suckmaster 6000. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's our first Suckmaster 6000. Let's see. Next we have the Mechanic. So it's a girl mechanic, it's a sexy mechanic or something. I don't fucking know. She sells, more mechanical stuff. Let's see. So she's like a blue collar woman, and we love blue collar women in this house. We love educated, hard working girls here. I would definitely be on my knees barking for this lady. What I'm going to say based on that is, I bet she refuses. Me barking is not enough to convince her. Okay. Who's next? This guy. All right, the Merchant. So the Merchant, the regular merchant, not the traveling merchant, the regular merchant, the old ass dude. And what comes with age? Experience. And so this dude has been around for a long time, and he's definitely done and seen things that would probably make your toes curl, which is why he goes in the experienced category. Okay, next we have the nurse, or whatever the hell her name is. Yeah, so this can go one of two ways. On the one hand, you can make the argument that her being a nurse, she's so committed to helping us get back to proper health that she's willing to do anything to help us get there, which would place her firmly in the Suckmaster 6000. Or you could say that she's just like firmly a professional and that she's not interested in doing things like that. She's just interested in, the typical medical experience. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and she's going to be our second in the Suckmaster 6000 category. Let's see. Next up, we have the old man. And so he looks like he's fucking homeless, and his whole thing is that you only talk to him whenever you want to summon Skeletron. And so you have to talk to him at night if you want to summon Skeletron. And then if you have like less than 300 health, he'll freaking roast you and say you're not strong enough. But since this guy is an old ass man who looks like a damn hobo, I'm going to say that he's probably very starved of human touch and would be willing to do basically anything to get that. And so that's why I'm going to say he will do it, but he's not very good at it. The Painter. I think is what this guy's name is. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, the painter. Okay, so there are, in my experience, there's two kinds of painters. There's like the actual like artist painters who they make paintings in portraits, or they work in, you know, theater, or they make, you know, digital art or stuff like that. And then there's like the guys who like work for fucking Sherwin-Williams, and they just paint houses all day. And those guys are like the most fucking unrefined people that you could ever imagine. And like freaking when my parents had their fucking house painted, it was just two Mexican dudes who didn't speak English very well, and they just got fucked up all day. I'm talking like literal like 10-foot tall piles of beer cans in our fucking backyard while these guys were busy painting our house. And it's crazy. The crazy thing about it is that they did a good job too. It's a really good paint. They did a really good job painting my parents' fucking house, despite the fact that they were blackout drunk the whole time. Based on how the painters dress, I'm going to say he's that second variety. This guy definitely works for Sherwin-Williams. This guy is fucked up on the job at all times. Based upon that, I'm going to put him in the refuses category. Let's see. The party girl. The pirate. Okay, so let's see. Pirates. I've learned a lot about pirates kind of recently. Apparently, they were like not so cutthroat and evil and vile as a lot of movies make them out to be. Of course, there definitely were some that were like that, obviously, but like a lot of pirate guys fell probably more into the whole like blue collar working class kind of thing. And basically, what I learned is that when a guy would go out to do some piracy, he would basically buy a ship or rent a ship, go out and do his thing with like a crew, and then they would pillage and plunder and sell their stuff, and then they would just come back and live until the money ran out, and then they'd go and do the whole thing again. So like and then the way that the pirate shows up is that you have to like survive the first like pirate invasion, and then this guy will appear one day if you have a vacant house or whatever. But just I'm gonna place him into the blue collar category, which is why he refuses. Santa, I can't do that to you, Santa. I'm sorry. But next up, we've got the skeleton merchant. Okay, so this is gonna be a bit funny, but I'm gonna put the skeleton merchant in the refuses category because of the fact that he probably can't give sloppy in any capacity because he doesn't have a tongue and also doesn't have lips. So, okay. Moving on. Up next, we've got... Who is that? I think it's this one. Oh, yeah, the steampunker. And it's ladies, steampunker. Okay. So, let's see. I mean, like... So we love intelligent, educated women in this house. Catch me on my knees, begging for it. And so I think I get refused again. Okay. Let's see who else is next. The stylist. So the stylist who does stuff with like hair, style, and color. I mean, I would bet that I'm gonna put her in the experienced category. I'm gonna like a lot of. So yeah, I think they're like it's very much like a, you know. Okay, the tavern keeper or the tavern keep, whatever you gonna call him. So his whole thing is that like, one, he's like really tall. He's like physically one of the largest NPCs, and then he's bald. I can't even tell if this guy's human. Because his eyes are like fucking pitch black. He's got this weird ass nose, which I guess is similar to everybody else's noses. And he just, I don't know, him running a bar or running a tavern, he's probably seen and done some whack ass shit. So, but it's like, it's me asking him, and he's probably going to tell me now, that's all I'm saying. Let's see. Oh shit. Next up, we've got the... Oh, there he is. The tax collector. So the tax collector is funny because he only appears in hard mode, and he only You can only get him if you throw purification powder on a tortured soul, and he turns into the tax collector. And his whole thing is that he just goes around and he collects money from the other NPCs to give to you. And, you know, in the form of taxes and stuff. He's basically, he's Scrooge. He's Ebenezer Scrooge, Scrooge McDuck, whatever you want to call him. So, he's probably like, everybody fucking hates him because he just comes by and he just steals their money and gives it to me. But I'm going to say that he probably would refuse because he's too busy stealing everyone's money. Okay, the 3 pets, we are not crossing that line today. We are not crossing that line today. Right, next up we have the Traveling Merchant. Okay, so Traveling Merchant, still on the young side. Still got some color in that hair. Nice outfit, though. Definitely what I'm going to say is, if he's a traveling merchant, he's definitely been, like, all over the world. So I'm going to say that bro's definitely, like, done and seen some things that he may or may not be proud of. So I'm going to have to put him in the experienced category. Right. Next is, where is it? Truffle, the mushroom. Hard mode only, various mushroom-themed items, which is like a lot of good shit, actually. Including the auto hammer. So this is weird, right? I don't know if Truffle has a mouth. I don't know if Truffle can speak. I don't know if doing those things with Truffle will negatively impact my health. Which is why we're going to put Truffle in the refuses category. Let's see. Right, the Witch Doctor. So, Witch Doctor, any sort of like hyper spiritual character is gonna be on the weird side. And they're going to be all about that, like, you know, natural healing and doing things that aren't necessarily supported by the science and all that other stuff. I'm not saying anything, but what I am saying is that I'm sure that the Witch Doctor is probably very experienced. Okay. Next, we have the... Come on, load for me. The Wizard. So the Wizard, once again, I mean, the hair is probably misleading. I would bet this guy is probably multiple thousands of years old because that's just how wizards fucking do it. But what I'm going to say in that case is that being that old means you've definitely done some crazy shit. And so this guy is experienced at the bare minimum. And then finally we have the Zoologist. Okay, so... based on what I'm looking at, because like I'm looking at the hair, I'm looking at the dark skin, I'm not looking at the tail because something else has got my attention. All I'm gonna say is that they knew exactly what they were doing when they made this NPC, because god damn, the Zoologist, I don't know if the idea is that she's half fox or animal or something, unless that tail is unless she didn't come with that tail originally. And then she's got she's got like ears like a fox too. She is a fox. God damn. Sorry, so thirsting. I mean, as far as if I'm gonna put her in the will do it but not very good category. I feel like a lot of people get turned off by the tail, and yeah. But here you have it. This is our official ranking for which Terraria NPCs are the best at giving schlubby. If y'all enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel to see more content just like this in the future. It means everything to me whenever you all subscribe to the channel and watch the videos all the way through. Leave a like on this video so that YouTube will recommend these videos more to you as well as others so the channel can continue to grow. I started a Patreon now that we've hit 500 subscribers. The link to that will be in the description of this video as well as every video going forward. It is $1 a month. to subscribe, and you get an extra exclusive video every Sunday, only available to people who are subscribed to the Patreon. So once again, $1 a month to get roughly 4 extra videos per month. And they're like the special kind of videos that I can't upload to YouTube because they're too spicy. And then finally, leave a comment down below letting me know what ranking you want to see in the future. It can be anything. The channel is called Rank Everything. Once again, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, have a good one.